Hey guys, what a great Saturday to come out here and have not only spring ball game, but got Swim with Mike going on, which is great on campus, which has been a great cause for this university, as well as several universities, to help those that are disabled earn money, scholarship money to go to school. So unbelievable day for us. Fun out here today. Week 4 in the books, 1 week to go. And I can't tell you how happy I am to see us where we were practice 1 to where we are practice 12. It's a team that's playing faster. It's a team playing with great energy and great focus. They have become more fundamentally sound. They're playing more disciplined. And I tell you what, both sides of the ball, there's a sense of urgency, not only to protect the ball, but I even saw today 2 turnovers by the defense. And we had really pushed that. The offense had been doing a great job. Drake Jackson makes a huge play. Dominic Davis gets a strip out. So really fun out here, and looking forward to getting 1 more week. We got 1 more full pad practice. That's the max that we can have by rule with the NCAA. We've limited ourselves out as far as our tackle opportunities, and we'll get 1 more of those next week, along with helmets and a shells practice. But with that, I'll take any questions that you got.
In the time that you've been here, head coach or otherwise, have you had a true freshman in spring play like Drake?
I tell you, he reminds me a lot of Leonard, where Leonard was just a grown man as an 18-year-old right now. And to come out here, you know, in this type of atmosphere, your first time out, and have fans around and have cameras around and make big plays like that. Not only that 1 play, but he was playing in the backfield all day. So it was great to see. Great to see for a young person to come out here. It's why you take advantage of graduating early and having the spring ball. But played really well today.
Can we get some injury updates?
Say one more.
Injury updates?
Injury update, you know, obviously Talanoa with the surgery went really well, you know, and we're looking forward to having him back over the summer and getting ready for fall camp. Jalen McKenzie just had a little bit of a hyperextended elbow that we got in Thursday's full pad tackle practice, and we held him out today. I think he'll be back next week. Besides that, is there anybody else that... Austin Jackson is he's on a personal family engagement right now. He's going to be back next week, but he's with his family at an event, and he'll be back next week. Bernard Shermer will be back, hopefully, maybe late next week. He's got a personal thing he's dealing with, but he'll be back next week.
Josh Follow and Jude Wolf?
Josh Follow is AC sprain on the shoulder, and Jude has got a back injury. But both guys, Josh should be back hopefully next week. Jude's probably out for the rest of spring. Should be back by the fall.
Sorry, Clayton Brantley.
Solomon right now. Solomon is coming. You know, had the successful foot surgery. We got 4 good practices in. Got a little sore, so we were a little bit overprotective. Want to have him ready for fall, so we wanted to protect it. Obviously, when you have that type of surgery on your foot with a big man like that, we want to make sure it's okay.
Clayton Brantley.
Clayton has got a back right now, Dan, and we're hoping to get him back by fall camp, but he's just building strength in it right now.
What stood about today's practice?
I think really, Kyle, just the speed in which the kids are playing. You know, I've been focusing more on the fundamentals and the turnovers and the penalties, and I'm letting our coordinators handle all the X's and O's and all the schemes and implementing the offense and defense and special teams. And they cut, you know, Clancy cut way back. You know, obviously the system that Graham has brought in is very simple and it's allowed our kids to play fast. And that's what I'm taking away from it, is how much faster we're playing, how much fun the kids are having. I'm having a freaking blast, I'll be honest with you. I'm having an absolute blast, and our coaches are too, running around with these kids. So just the speed of the game and how fast they're playing, there's no confusion, there's no hesitation. I think that's my biggest takeaway from practice 1 to practice 12.
With Pac-12 Network being here today, did that impact how you structured things or ran that you didn't want to show up on TV?
No, you know, we held back a little bit. But you know, the offensive system is what it is. You know, it's going to stay the same. It's been that way for the last decade. You know, so it's not about our opponent really. What we've been talking about is set our own standard, and play to that standard. And if we do that, we have the talent around us that we can compete with anybody in the world, you know. And so that's what we're focused on ourselves. You know, we can literally let everybody come in here and watch this. We really don't care. You know, we want to be able to set our standard and play to that standard.
With the running backs, last year you rotated a bunch. Earlier this spring, Coach Jinks told us that he would like, ideally, a guy that emerges as a kind of a bell cow kind of guy. Have you thought more about how you want to operate the position and divide carries up?
Well, you know, I think it's twofold, too. You know, as you saw today, it may have, I don't know what the totals will end up, but those backs catch a lot of balls, too. So not only do they have to be runners, they have to be catchers out of the backfield. They have to handle pass protection. You know, this is a scheme that's probably going to be 60-40, you know, pass run. You know, so you have to be able to be a dual threat at the running back position, and we're evaluating that not only through these 15, but through fall camp too. And that's one of the things I've been talking about. I don't want anybody to get comfortable at any position. Every Friday we'll announce a 2 deep, and the guys that are playing the best and executing the plays best, they'll walk out there first. Obviously, by the time we play Fresno State, hopefully there's a back that will emerge and we'll jump out there first.
Hey, Coach, how big of a loss is Porter, and what round do you think he's going to go in?
Porter? Porter's an exceptional talent. And one of those guys that has always provided us great pass rush ability. I think he's so dangerous off the edge. He's one of those guys that I would want on my team at all time. He's a team captain, he's a leader, and he's a guy that I would expect would go in high rounds.
By any quarterback assessment today?
Yeah, you know what I really liked is they took advantage of what the defense gave them. I mean, we had one interception on the day, which was an unbelievable play by a defensive lineman, one of those special plays. But I don't see them forcing the ball and the ball's getting out, and they're making decisive decisions. And that's what we expect. You know, the nature of the offense is to get the ball out of your hand, and Graham has been on those guys, you know, all through camp. Get the ball out, get the ball out, get the ball out. Limit the sacks, get the ball in people's hands, and that's why you see them getting the balls to the back on the edge. I mean, there was probably 100 yards worth of receptions by running backs today just because the quarterback doesn't like it, dumps it off, and they're making 8 to 10 yards a catch.
What have you seen from the offensive line? You've had some injuries there, them learning the new system.
Yeah, you know, one, it's a very simplified system for them. It doesn't have a ton of protections, doesn't have a ton of runs, and it allows us to focus more fundamentally and technique-wise at the position, and they have improved. I applaud Coach Drevno. I think even today, I mean, you saw the 2 tackle periods, it was a heavy run emphasis in both those periods, and that's what I love about what Graham does. He mixes in those runs. You know, you remember last year, he's got a top 10 quarterback passing and 2,000 yards worth of rushing, and you saw that evident today. And they've got to bring that physicality to the table in that running game as well as protecting the quarterback, and they're getting it done right now. It's a unit that has really come together over 12 practices, and I know when we get 70 and 73 back and even Clayton Bradley back, that unit is going to be really, really tight.
Clay, due to the circumstances at safety, you've had to count on Jordan McMillan a lot this spring, and even at the end of last season. When did you first kind of realize he'd be a contributor, you know, to this team?
Jordan, you know, you never know, and I keep on preaching to everybody, you never know when your opportunity is going to come, and be ready for that opportunity. Prepare like a starter each and every week. You don't know, it could be the last game versus Notre Dame, and there you are making an interception. He's one of those guys that reminds me, we had a really dynamic player that helped us for a long time in Matt Lopes, if you remember, that was kind of that role. He was the sixth man. Anytime that you needed, he was out there, whether it was special teams, whether it was DB-wise, and you have to have those type of players, and Jordan is one of those players, just a consistent contributor.
Can Marquise give you that kind of home run threat that you saw today?
I tell you what's been good, what we've seen in this camp, you know, you kind of see him as a bruiser, as a 230-pound man, but then all of a sudden you remember how fast a man he is. And he's one of those kids, I'll give him a lot of credit. When he first came here, you saw how big he was, and you were like, oh gosh, is he going to get any bigger? And he's done a great job of keeping. He's a 230-pound man that could be 250 in a hurry if he needs to, but he knows how important it is to be athletic, be fast, and be able to move in space in this offense. He's really done a good job of keeping his weight to where he needs to do to perform in this offense.